but we are just not a team sitting here that can go out and spot a very good team like EKU, you know, that 28 points. Defensively, we were outstanding. Offensively, we moved the ball, but some turnovers and big plays over the top of us, you know, what led to our demise.
You certainly gave him a reason to come back, and folks, whatever we do come back, we'll show you what we're talking about. Stay with us. You're watching The John Mumford Show. Beach Boys concert after that, Coach, but one thing that really jumps out whenever I take a look at these stats, Eastern Kentucky, a traditionally run-oriented team, your defense held them to under 100 yards net rushing.
It was tremendous, particularly, you know, the first year we were struggling against the run somewhat, and then thought the last 2 weeks in particular, Chris, we've done an outstanding job. And going into this football game, Eastern Kentucky's 2 running backs had both averaged over 100 yards a game. Each of them did, so that's 200 yards, and we held them to 93, 94 yards. So our guys swarmed to the ball. They got off blocks, and was particularly proud of that. And Eastern's generally a team that if you can stop the run, you're going to be pretty successful. But we gave them some early field position. We gave 2 touchdowns via a fumble return where we fumbled the ball down deep, and they rolled on it in the end zone, and then a punt return for a touchdown where we had 3. Actually, we thought it was 2. We had 3 guys run right by the guy, and just didn't break down and make the play, so he went in unscathed. So there's 14 points right there, and that would have been enough to win the game. And like I said, spirited play, and our guys were, you know, for a while there, they kind of had that Brook Trout look on the sideline, but once we got things going, Mike Gross did a nice job leading the team in the end zone for our first score, and then Bobby took it the rest of the way, and you know, we made a heck of a ball game out of it. So wish I would have stayed for the Beach Boys. I wasn't exactly in a great mood last night, but I hear it was a great concert.
Southeast Missouri won the toss, elected to defer until the second half. They stopped Eastern Kentucky on 3 straight plays, and then Bobby Bruni gives up the first interception of the game.
Actually, that was Mike Gross.
Or Mike Gross, yeah, I apologize.
Mike started, and then they went to a weak roll coverage. We tried to, you know, we've been throwing the hitch pretty successfully lately, so we decided to try to run hitch and go. The corner bid up on it, but the safety rotated over the top, and kind of an old cover 3 weak roll look, and made it tough, and then picked off the ball. And now we're going to drop back and hit the screen to Sturge Cumberford. Good blocks downfield. Sturge uses them, and you know, we tried to work our screen game a lot this week, and you know, we're getting to be a better screen team and get guys downfield to help out and make blocks. Here we're going to run the bootleg, and Mike threw one up there that had a guy in his face, and you know, hindsight's always 20/20. Would have liked to seen him, you know, pump it, make the guy jump up and run the ball, but you know, now our defense is back on the field, and they're going to go deep. Number 18 is a wide receiver, and he's about as good as we faced. He's going to make, I'm sure he's made everybody forget about that Menendez kid they had last year who's playing pro football right now. So they right off their play action, they like to throw the football.
Coach, this is a big stand. Defense is already down. It's 14-0 right now. And guys could have laid down and died right here, but they didn't do it.
I'll tell you what, our defensive players play with a tremendous amount of pride, and it's instilled by the coaches. And here we hold them on, we're going to be holding them on 4th and short, and Eastern Kentucky elects to go.
This is 4th and goal at the 1.
Right. And, you know, there was a strange deal at the end of this. I don't know if he's in here, James Jeanette.
Yep.
And you're going to see, I watched a film this morning about 6 o'clock. Right here, his helmet's off. His helmet came off, and then the official, you know, you cannot take your helmet off, but underneath that pile, if you stop it, his helmet got knocked off by the guy's legs, and it was unfortunate. It cost us a couple inches in field position back that deep, but I believe we fumbled on the next series, and they fell on it for a touchdown.
Here's where the comeback starts. Ricky Smith up the middle of the field, good blocking inside there. Line starting to show some experience in there.
The line did a nice job, and I thought Broderick Benson made a heck of a block there. And you'll see, I don't know if we have it on the highlights, Chris, but on a sweep, Broderick just trucks a guy, and you know, he's really improved upon his blocking. Here we run the options, good duck up. Got Chester downfield, Kiefer downfield blocking. Bourne downfield blocking ends up being a big play for us.
17 yards for Mike Gross on that play. And then here's the true freshman, Ivan Brown.
Ivan got in the game, excuse me, ran a couple tosses, and and also made a great catch on a hot read on a blitz, and Bobby kind of laid it up there, but Ivan did it. Great poise by Mike Gross right here. John Bourne is wide open in the end zone, and we've been missing those, believe it or not. We've been missing them the last couple of weeks, but I thought that was tremendous poise on Michael's part to duck the one and then step up and throw a strike to John.
35 points in the first half of this game. You're down 28-7. Watch the defense come to play.
It's 35 points in the first quarter, and then, you know, later on 14, we score 14 in the second. But defense really thought they came to play, and Joel Becker had an excellent game last night. Here he gets a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, and we're going to force him to scramble, and big James Jeanette makes the play right there. I think David Bowling probably had one of his best games as an Indian last night as well.
James moved around pretty well for a 300-pounder.
Yes, he does. And then here Donovan Levinas comes in on the blitz, Chris, and causes a fumble, and we had about 3 pair of hands on that ball. We insert Rashad West in the game to run a little tight end around reverse and a pass off of it. And you see, you know, Rashad is not only he's a quarterback, but he's a very gifted athlete that we need to have on the football field. And he's a threat to do. He's very skilled, and he's a threat to do some awful good things. Comeback route from Bruni to Dunaway, and Andy catches the ball, runs a good route. Great read by Ricky. Shows some moves, gets to the outside. Now he's going to lower the boom right there, and that's aggressive running by a tailback. And I got to say, Ricky and KD and Ivan all ran extremely hard last night. I was very proud of our tailbacks. I think we got 3 awful good ones.
Southeast Missouri ran for 133 net yards last night, outrushing Eastern Kentucky. You don't hear that often, folks.
No, you don't. And here we hit the counter up and in, and then going to come back now and run the toss right here. And this is a block I think you see right there. All those guys on, you didn't see it in the picture, but Broderick Benson threw a great block and just ran right over the top of their defensive end or the linebacker. K.D.
Cogliosio getting ready to see him, but watch the blocking up front here by the offensive line and also the fullback right here, Coach.
Yeah, we came in and put in the ISO this week, and great job right there. K.D. just runs by the guy, and you know, like I've said it before, I'm real proud of K.D. Cogliosio, his work ethic, and compared to a couple of years ago when he was having some problems, he's really come on strong, not only as a football player but as a man.
7 plays, 72 yards, 2 minutes, 54 seconds on the drive. Southeast Missouri now back in the football game, down by 14. A lot of time to play in the first half.
There's about 11 minutes to go, and you know, I'd had enough in that first quarter. That lasted a while. One thing right here, with Seth, he's not particularly deep on his kickoffs, but he did a great job squibbing the ball down the field, caused them to bobble it 3 or 4 times. You see Charlie Sorter and Commerth Williams all down there making good plays and tackles on the ball carrier. Chad William on the initial contact, and a bunch of other guys in on the fullback on that play.
Jeremy Atwell and David Bowling both with 8 tackles in the game. Donovan Levinas with 6 unassisted tackles in the game.
Yep, our linebackers have been pretty good all year, Chris. They're a very active bunch, and again, great job swarming the ball right here. Like I said, Joel Becker had a pretty good game. This great job of sticking with it right here by Andre Clark. Heck of a pass. Coverage was fairly tight, and the guy threaded in there, but Andre got up there and stripped it. Here we're going to run the bootleg, and Bobby does a nice job slipping this tackle right here and getting up. We get close to a first down. I don't know. I thought he had the first down on the play. We end up coming back and going with our quarterback sneak right here to get the first.
Bruni gets the first down, as we said on this play. Kind of get a big break coming up here in just a couple of minutes, but here's Sturge Cumberford.
Yeah, we try to run bubble screen out there, and just a little late getting out to it and to block. We totally whiff on the left end. This guy touches it, and when he touched it, it made it possible for us to recover. And you know, we need a few breaks once in a while. You got to make your breaks. We run the go down here to Corey Chester. Actually, it was a wheel route, and he was just totally by himself. See all the receivers down there getting fired up, and our cheerleaders are there. Our cheerleaders band did a great job, and we're a big part of that electricity. Throw a little out route to Bourne on a 3-step drop for a first down. And then we're going to come back and throw the corner route. Heck of a throw there by Bobby, and and get Corey Chester in the end zone. And he just needs to, take care of his teammates on that. But there wasn't much room on this pass, and if you see right there, I don't know, it might have been a couple feet, but Bobby threaded it in there, and we were very, very, fortunate to be back into it 28-21 at this point, Chris, going into the locker room at halftime.
Tell you what, that just a tremendous comeback by your team, and the Indians get 7 more in the third quarter. We'll show you those highlights. Amazing highlights, folks. Stay with us. You're watching The John Mumford Show. Coming up this Saturday, the Indians will take on Tennessee Tech. It is homecoming at Houck Stadium. 1 o'clock is the kickoff. The parade starts at 9:30. At the half with Eastern Kentucky, 28-21. What'd you say to your team at the half?
I didn't have to say too much, really. I just said we were in a 4-round boxing match. We lost the first round. We came back and won the second round, but we got to win round 3 twice and round 4 twice. And I think in the third quarter we came out and we won that one, and would have liked to have got another score. Would have certainly helped out. But and then the fourth round, they scored 9 points in that. And actually, as we go along here, we see where we tied up 28-all, Chris, and then they score again and miss the extra point. And I thought, okay, it's going to take a touchdown, an extra point late, and win this thing and get out of here and listen to the Beach Boys. So I really thought I was fortunate. I thought our extra point team did a great job. They put pressure on the guy all night and kind of gave him the yips.
Let's go ahead and go to the second half highlights. And, boy, there's the defense sticking it up again.
They were in tough field position for our defense. Corey Chester was on a return and was trying to make something happen in traffic and got stripped. And here's a big play by Joel Becker on the bootleg, and Joel really accelerated to the quarterback, Chris, and made a huge play for us. And then on this one, they're going to, again, off the play action, come back. We force the quarterback to scramble around. Isaac Powell right here breaks it up, and I believe John Smith back there. So EKU will line up, and they're going to attempt a field goal, and you see we're going to get good pressure both ways. And we may have even blocked it because that short of field goal barely made the goal line.
Tell you what, 31-yard field goal is no good. We'll see Ricky Smith starting it out here in the second half. And, Coach, play calling's opened up a lot in the last couple of games.
Well, I think our play calling's been fine all along, Chris. It's just that our execution's been better. And, we're doing some things here. We get a little slip screen out to Leslie. We've got a bunch of guys that have some skill and some speed, and we're trying to get the ball in the perimeter via the screen a little bit more. Here's the one I was talking about. It's a hot read to Ivan Brown, and Ivan knows what to do after he catches the football and gets up the field for a big first down.
Tell you what, good crowd, as we said. The Sundancers having a good time. You're over there talking to your team during the timeout. You spaced the timeouts well, too, as well last night, Coach.
Well, we had to. I think in the first half we tried to give our defense a blow, and then we had a couple, communication issues on the plays getting into the game later in the game. I was a little bit disappointed in that, but we made the play. Here's Levinus, and we get the ball stripped out, and his buddy Jeremy Atwell picks it up, and I know Jeremy wanted to scoot there, and I think, that's great play. And, here's a prime example where both sides of the ball need to complement each other. Our defense causes a turnover at midfield. Here we're going to run the post. Bobby just lays it in here beautifully to Leslie Weaver on the next play, and it's a tie ball game. So great job of play calling right there and quick strike. After a turnover like that, we had Eastern Kentucky back on their heels, and we went right to the end zone. And I guess you're going to get a great view of it here. I tell you, our camera crew did a super job on these highlights, Chris.
Yeah, these guys, outstanding job here tonight. And tell you what, a lot to take pictures of, too, Coach. That makes it a lot easier, too, because these guys really put on a show.
They did. It's a few more, probably more tonight than in the past 3 or 4 weeks. So, players make plays, and our guys were out making plays last night, and, plays that we've been in position to but hadn't made before. And very, very proud of, like I said, proud of their heart, but, we still have to come out of the locker room, with that heart beating fast.
Bobby Bruni, 13 of 17, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. Now here Eastern Kentucky kind of changes up the game plan a little bit. Start going with the passing game.
They do. They open it up a little bit, and they're featuring number 18 as a wide receiver. And you see all their passing game is it's all predicated off play action. Here comes Isaac Powell and little DeMar Winston. Little DeMar's in there battling. There's not much, you know, he's not very big, kind of diminutive, and I'll tell you what, we did a super job rallying to the ball. Looks like there's 15 or 16 of them out there at times.
We go into the fourth quarter of play. It's still tied up at 28 apiece. Your team continues to battle here.
Yeah, 28 apiece. We missed the linebacker on the crackback block there, and we still get a few yards. But you know, right now we're throwing the ball. We throw the outcut again, Bruni to Dunaway. But right now EKU's kind of got their ears pinned back, and they did sack us a couple times late, and you know, we need to probably, you know, get the drop and roll in or something maybe to help, you know, take a little pressure off those guys. And you know, I tell you, I've got a lot of respect for Roy Kidd, and he's obviously not only the dean of the OVC, but also, you know, in the whole country. He's got you know, his name and his wins and his record, Chris, is right up there with Paterno and Bowden and Bear Bryant and those type people. And you know, I really appreciated his comments after the game. And you know, when some comments like that come from one of your peers, particularly a guy who's practically a living legend like Roy, it was you know, it meant a lot to us. So you know, they're a good football team. We wish them all the best, and we got to get over this one as soon as we can, learn from the film, and then go get ready for a tough Tennessee Tech.
Coach, last 2 weeks we've talked about it. You played a good Western Kentucky ball club close.
Right.
You come back from 28 points down, tie it up with
In part by Mercedes-Benz.